The midterms are next Tuesday. Some veterans are bringing the fight directly to Washington. In the 2022 midterms, around 1 in 5 candidates running for Senate, House, or governor have military experience. Vets in Congress have steadily declined since the 70s. But this year, over 200 men and women on either side of the aisle looking to head to Washington to implement their kind of change. After Biden's disastrous Afghanistan withdrawal and the future of Ukraine in the balance, is it time for Congress to take back their war powers? And will a new generation of veterans be the ones to help implement that change? Joining me now, retired Navy SEAL Senior Chief, Republican candidate for Wisconsin's 3rd District, Derrick Van Orden is back. So you have a little over a week to go, DVO. How are you feeling about your race and the New York Times describing, this terrifying far-right group of veterans who also happen to be anti-interventionists? You feeling good about that?
Well, listen, as far as the race goes, we're doing much better than the competition. Let's just put it that way. In every single poll, statewide and national, we are winning. And the reason being, Kennedy, is that we're talking about the things that the people in the district want to talk about, and that's gas, groceries, and grandkids. People can't afford the first two, gas and groceries, and they're concerned about the future of their grandchildren, and that pertains directly to the subject that we're speaking about this evening. The Biden administration, the disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan, and that set a precedence of international weakness on a strategic stage. And unfortunately, what that has done is it has shown the world that they can do what they will with the United States of America. President Biden felt so strongly about getting out of Afghanistan that he intentionally abandoned thousands of American citizens and our allies to the fate to the Taliban. And then he immediately turned around and got us involved in another conflict without a stated end state. And these sorts of things simply must stop.
So how do you feel about further funding Ukraine when the country is facing what could be a pretty dire recession?
Well, I think it's very important that we do not allow unabashed international aggression to take place. But we also have to understand that when we're sending billions of American tax dollars over to another country, that there must be some accountability for that money. We are hurting now. I'm telling you, Kennedy, me and my team have put over 180,000 miles on our vehicles. We speak to thousands of Wisconsinites hundreds of Wisconsinites every week, and they tell me the same thing. They simply cannot fill up their gas tank and a grocery cart on the same day. So if we are going to, and we should help prevent naked international aggression, we need to make sure that there's accountability for that. And no one can call us dubs. The group of people that are written about in that New York Times article were all combat veterans. And so no one can say that we are fearful of this tyranny that takes place around the world. All of us have looked the elephant in the eye, and we've come out on top of it. And these politicians have not. They simply have gotten us involved in these conflicts, these endless wars, without having an end state in mind. And it's unacceptable. We must learn from our past mistakes.
Well, and that's what makes anti-interventionism very interesting, because, you guys aren't a bunch of gosh darn long-haired, greasy, dirty, anti-Vietnam hippies. You have served, and it's like the number of countries that you served as a Navy SEAL Senior Chief, it's pretty staggering. The Horn of Africa, Iraq, Afghanistan, I believe Bosnia was on the list. So you've seen conflicts all over the world, and you have also seen that policy implemented very badly, and people in power in the U.S. government sacrificing the lives of American men and women in uniform for horrible causes and no end game. So I actually appreciate where you all are coming from. If you combine that with a message of pro-capitalism, I feel that that's the only thing that can really save these United States.
Yeah, Kennedy, you're right. And I want to be very clear with everyone. We don't want to get involved in these conflicts. The Constitution is really clear that the Congress is the only body that can declare war. I think we need to get back to that. But I also want to make sure that anybody listening or watching this show understands this explicitly. If you attack the United States of America or American citizens overseas, someone else will be raising your children. And we need to get back to the point where we're respected because of our strength. around the world. When America is weak, the world is a less safe place.
And when America is run by incompetent people like Joe Biden and Lloyd Austin and Anthony Blinken, they make the world pretty friggin' dangerous for everybody with their ineptitude. Derrick, thank you very much. Best of luck next week. We will be watching your race and all the other races as midterms are upon us. Thank you, my friend.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Have a great evening.
You too.